Welcome to the Inspire Collective podcast, where our goal is to inspire Christian men and women in the marketplace with all they need to positively influence those around them for God's kingdom. I'm Chris Bowen, and today we're sitting down with TV and radio personality, musician, and serial entrepreneur Jeffrey Lampkin. We'll be discussing his fruitful in his career, the passion of his music, and the Lord himself. So let's get started. Jeffrey, it is such an honor and a privilege to have you on the Inspire Collective today.
I am so honored to be here, Dr. C. Thank you so much for having me. Hey, to everybody out there, I am feeling great and God is good. Thank you for having me.
It is such an honor. I have been looking forward to this interview, and I was so glad to be able to turn you on to the Inspire magazine and the Inspire Collective podcast, where we simply are just encouraging people to be entrepreneurial minded. We're taking it back out into the marketplace, and that is super exciting because I know your story personally, and I am so glad to introduce you to this platform of our guest here on the Inspire Collective podcast. So, Jeffrey, you're involved in so many different industries, and that's what I love about you. You're in radio, TV, music, entrepreneurship. Tons of stuff is going on. Can you tell the viewers what all is going on in your life? You have so much going on, and you're juggling, and you're wearing so many hats. I would be confused in the morning which hat to put on. So tell us a little bit about you and what makes you passionate.
Well, it's so crazy because I do. My mind, sometimes I'm like, wait a minute, what am I thinking about today? What's going on? It's so funny because today I actually wrote on my social media, I said how critical and how important it is that you stop and have daily devotional time with God. It's like I make an appointment with God, and I've got to have that time so that I can focus on Him, so I can do everything that He has ascribed to my life. I'm so grateful. So I do have all of these different gifts that He's given me, and He's allowed me to take them and just carry them all over the world. And what's crazy about it, Dr. C, is that I get the opportunity to make His name great in everything that I do. It's so ironic because I have such a heart for God. I genuinely love God. I think that is one thing. You find a lot of people who are talented, but they don't have this just genuine, sincere love and appreciation for God and everything that He's created. And so I find that I'm simply a steward of what He's loaned me to do. So when it comes to the radio show, the radio shows, because He's given me more than one. And let me encourage to everyone out there, don't be ashamed. When God gives you something, you don't have to apologize for what He's given you. And you don't have to apologize for the massive amount He's giving you, because you realize that you're doing everything all to His honor and His glory. So I've got 2 radio shows. I've got the restaurants. I've got the food truck. There's the college choir that I'm directing. I'm the worship leader at church. I'm the marketing director for the law firm. You've got all these different things. I'm over the event space. I've got so many different things going. Then you're a husband, an entrepreneur, a creative. You got the business side. It's so many different things, but to whom much is given, much is required. And I often think about the parable where it talked about having the talents and how He gave 110 and 120. And I'm just using this as an example, but He gave out these different talents to all of these people. Here's the thing, He'll give them to you, but if He gives them to you, what are you going to do with them? And people become so envious of what other people are doing, but you've got a loaf of bread. Well, what are you going to do with it? You're still sitting over there with your loaf of bread, but you're crying that you're hungry. You can get up and do something with that bread. So I think the reason that God continues to enable me and to allow me to be a steward of His gifts is because when He gives that loaf of bread to me, you best believe Jeffrey's going to make sandwiches. He's going to make pudding. He's going bread pudding. He's going to do all sorts of things with this loaf of bread that the Lord has given. He's not only going to feed Himself, but He's going to feed others, because that's the point of all of the things that He allows us to do. And that is ultimately my desire and my will for Him.
Wow, you listed about 6 or 7 things, the different hats. I told you had a lot of hats, and you listed about 6 or 7. And let me be honest with you and those that are listening today. Whenever somebody has that many hats, usually they're stressed and they're bogged down. But when you're living your destiny or your dream the way you are, and you're really fulfilling the purpose that God has called you to fulfill, you have so much energy and so much excitement. In fact, that's what my team here at Inspire saw in you as well. So a lot of people were attracted to you with your personality finale time on American Idol season number 7. I too was inspired by that. I still go back and watch that and share that with so many people. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience, what that was like to be on American Idol?
You know, it was God. I still go back to say American Idol was a total God experience. Sometimes God doesn't intend for you to win the show. God never intended for me to win American Idol. And the mistake that I made on American Idol, to fast forward the story and then I'll circle back on it, was the fact that I was on stage. I was singing A Whole New World. I know A Whole New World like the back of my hand. I started out, this song was it was mesmerizing. Everybody in the building, the producers were pulling for me. Paula, Simon, and Randy were pulling for me. Everybody wanted me to go on to the next level. And I hit the bridge of the song, the chorus of the song, A Whole New World, because I started off in the verse, I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Started at that verse. When I got to A Whole New World, I was as flat as a pancake. I never even realized, I did not know, Paula held her, it went just like this. Paula was like, and she held her hand up and she said, you know what happened, right? But I refused to embarrass myself on national and international television. So I was like, yes, ma'am. I didn't know a thing. I had no clue until I saw the video back. And I was as flat as a pancake in vocal pitch. And it's so crazy because by that time I had been in college. Ear training, I had an A all the time. Hearing pitches and stuff, it's nothing to me. But American Idol, from the beginning, the audition, that's what a lot of people see with the tie around my head and the bow chickie wow wow. All of it was what God told me to do. There were so many people there. There are many people in this world that can sing. But what American Idol taught me is, what is it that God is giving you that you bring to the table, and how do you use that in this world? And so I don't know why I put the tie around my head. The Lord told me to, literally. Put the tie around your head. Be different. And it just caused me to stand out. Sure, I can sing, but it was something different. And then not only that, but as I was auditioning on the floor, you've got to remember there are thousands of people at the North Charleston Coliseum. And I'm auditioning. And as I'm auditioning, like literally the entire auditorium stopped. Mind you, there are auditions over here, auditions, because before you get to Simon, Paula, and Randy, you have multiple auditions in front of producers. So everybody's singing. And Dr. C, literally when I sung, and that's one thing about it, when you have a gift, you don't have to do anything dramatic, but bring your gift. That's all. Bring your gift the way God told you to bring it. Package it the way God told you to package it. And oftentimes that's what we don't do. We don't do it because it's like, oh, I'm afraid that they're not going to receive it. They will receive it if it was meant for them. And obviously what I had was meant, because the producers loved it and they sent me on to Simon, Paula, and Randy, and they loved it. And American Idol opened up the doors to so many other things. I would not even be who I am. I would not be Professor Jeffrey Lampkin right now if I had not had the experience that I had, the way that I had it on American Idol.
That's awesome. So many people look at things in their life and feel like, well, that's a failure or this didn't work out. But everything that we go through leads us to the next step. And obviously, with your story, that was a platform for God to push you over and into the extremity that we're seeing today. And also for people that's going to tune in and watch Jeffrey Lampkin on American Idol season number 7, he is a different man. Oh my goodness, you've had a total transformation, sir. Total transformation. I'm hoping that they can see you somewhere on the video, or they'll go to your talk show and stuff, because this man has had a total transformation. His body, everything about him. And so I love it. I love it. How was the transformation of going from where you were at the time of American Idol to now you are living American Dream? You have got your body back in shape and all those kind of things. What really caused you to do that?
I wanted to live. There were so many things that I wanted to do, and I was so young. I was in my 20s, and my weight wasn't an issue for me. I wasn't having this bunch of medical problems. Like, that's what I'm saying. You follow the plans. I didn't wait until the storm was coming. I wanted to do something to prevent the storm. Right. But I had just put myself in a place from eating so much that I just could not get the weight. Like, the doctors were giving me plans trying to make it work, and we couldn't get a massive amount. And so they introduced this concept to me about gastric bypass surgery, and I said, okay. And what was so crazy about it was there just weren't a lot of African American men at this time. I think this would have been 2010, maybe, 2010. But African American men were not having gastric bypass surgery. That was unheard of. You're not going under a knife voluntarily. And I decided to do the gastric bypass surgery and ended up becoming the poster child in the upstate of South Carolina, because not only did I have it, but I kept the weight off. Because these things that I learned about gastric bypass, and I want to speak to those out there who may be considering it. It is ultimately one of the most amazing things, but it's one of the hardest things you will ever do. Gastric bypass was one of the hardest surgeries that I've ever had in my life, because it takes so much out of you. It really takes a lot out of you. And then even after that, you have so much work to do, because having the gastric bypass surgery, it puts a barrier in place, but it doesn't change your mindset. So my mindset was so accustomed to eating large. Like, I can't eat a cheeseburger from McDonald's. I needed a double quarter pounder with cheese. I needed chicken nuggets to go with that. I needed all of this, and it was comfort, and it was what I enjoyed. And so I decided, it just got to a place where I knew there was so much more for me, but in order for me to do it, I needed to be in a better place physically before something happened. And then I'm around, can't breathe, can't do anything. It started getting to the place where, like I said, I wasn't having medical issues, but I was breaking chairs. That's a problem. And I'm not 30 years old. That's a problem. And so finally the opportunity was there. I decided to do it. I was successful at it. I was so successful that, again, they made me a spokesperson. And then from there, I began to experience I had all of the excess skin and stuff. And so I started realizing, like, even beyond that, I had to start walking. I had to start exercising. And it's so crazy, because here we go, over 10 years later, and I've kept this weight off.
Right.
And when I did, I gained some back. I was like, I don't really like this. Then I started working out, going and getting on my bike, going upstairs and getting on my bicycle and doing this and becoming disciplined about it. Because what I realized is, you can have the surgery all day, but if your mind is not in the place that it needs to be, and if you're not disciplined in the process, you're never going to achieve the results that you ultimately desire. And so I started this transformation, and I'm like, baby, look at me now. Yes, baby. Okay. Come on, family. I know y'all see. Listen, the Lord is kind. So I'm excited about it, because it's only with him that I'm able to sit and be where I am right now. And to be able, I love, this is one of my favorite article of clothing to wear, but it's just big on me. And it's just like, but I love the idea of that. Like, hey, it's just coming down, honey. I keep my water near me. Drink your water, baby. So I keep my water near me, and I'm flushing and just feeling myself, and just, it's a process. And do it. The last thing I want to say, Dr. C, to those out there who are listening, do things your way. Do not become intimidated by the social media bullies and the people who, post like, oh, I did mine and it's all natural. And that's your way. And I salute you. Kudos. Great job. But there are some people out there that there's nothing wrong with having a hand to help you along the way. Because at the end of the day, you're still going to have to do the work. There's still work. You just have to work different ways in order to achieve the results that you need. So if you're thinking about it and it's something you want to do, but you're afraid because of what someone is going to say, get away from the naysayers, because oftentimes those naysayers is what blocks us from our destiny. And I just want people to get to their destiny. Okay, I'm going to stop talking, because I'm sorry.
It's so fun to me, Jeffrey, to hear your story, to know you personally, of how God took you from that place and used the thing that you were abusing to have you the entrepreneur. And we'll get to that in a little bit about your restaurant.
Yeah.
And that is amazing. And I remember the time that you and I met in downtown Columbia, and we went for ice cream. And I said, no, it's a good one. And you got a large one. I didn't know your story, and you left that ice cream there. So you did have that discipline without even.
It's a discipline. It is a discipline. You go and you can have, but you just got to have it in moderation. Like, I can't eat that. And I am so that way now. One of my favorite things is sweet tea. One of my favorite things is absolutely sweet tea. I love sweet tea. But you got to get to a place. Don't be afraid that just because you buy something, you feel like, oh, I got to get my money's worth. No, you don't do that. That's the most unhealthy thing. Like when we tell kids, you're going to eat everything on that plate and you're going to sit there and you're going to eat it. Now, sometimes if it's vegetables or something, they just don't like it. That's one thing. But to make people eat because you fixed a large plate, that is crazy. That is asinine to me that we do that and put these things in so people feel like they got to finish this food. So sweet tea is one of my favorite things. But if the tea is not good, I will throw the cup away. Why? Because I'm not going to waste calories because I paid money for it. That makes no sense at all. So yeah.
Well, we know that you have a lot going on, so let's move to your TV show. The Jeffrey Lampkin Show was the #1 show on Sunday morning TV for an impressive 6 seasons. Not 1, not 2, but 6 seasons. Did you ever feel pressure of keeping up with the numbers of being successful, having every season just to continue to outdo the next one for 6 seasons?
Not really. I think that, the Lord continues to give you ideas. Now, I am human. So there were moments and times where I said, wow, like, what will I do? Sometimes it gets good. And I think it just gets good. Like, it's like you come up with these show ideas and it's so spectacular. So it's kind of like, you have the pressure of, well, what are we going to do this time or what's going to come? But this is where if God gave it to you, if he gave you the vision, he will provide the provision for it. Right. He will do it every time. And so it's a trust thing. It's a faith thing that I may not see it right now, but I know that it's going to happen. So in the television world, it was so ironic because here I am. You don't have Black men on television hosting a show, especially locally in the South, to have a television show. So here I am having a television show and it's #1 and people are enjoying it. And so I'm literally just, because one of the things I realize is that the show, you build shows and you build things around the gift. The gift wasn't the ability for me to talk to people. The gift was the personality that God had given me. I'm able to put a smile on your face at 8:30 in the morning. I'm able to meet your need when you're talking about something. I'm able to get in your shoes and understand. I may not have breast cancer, but I had something that I had to overcome. So since I had to overcome it and you had to overcome it, I can understand. We can meet in that place. And when you're a person like that, you have the idea. I am a creative. So in my mind, it's like, how will I come out with the next idea? But I had to realize quickly that the ideas don't come from me. It comes from God. He gives me the ideas. I just have to be ready to implement the ideas when he brings them forth.
Wow. So not only are you a TV host, you're also a Sunday Morning Gospel with Jeffrey Lampkin radio show host as well. One of the top-rated Sunday morning radio programs. So where can people, I know the answer to this, but I want you to say it. Where can people tune into you to hear the Jeffrey Lampkin Sunday Morning Gospel Show?
Yes, you can tune in on 101.3 The Big DM or go to www.thebigdm.com. I am excited. It's so mind-blowing because this is what I say. When God does something, he does it well. So when television came and I was doing television for 6 seasons, and this is where Dr. C, why I always say you cannot get caught up because you don't know how long the assignment is going to last. God told me to walk away from television. Now I'm sitting here like, now wait a minute, Jesus. Wait a minute. From the daily grind of it. So I still do specials and different things like that. I sort of feel like a male Oprah just on the local level. But I'm like, okay, I've been doing these specials and stuff. But the Lord told me to walk away from television. It made no sense. The show is #1. The TV station has no issue. We have no issues. There's no bad beef. I'm not overwhelmed. Why am I walking away? The Lord said, it's time, walk away. And I walked away. And for about 6 to 9 months, I had nothing. And I felt lost. I felt like, oh my God, like I missed my show. There's no show. What am I going to do? I had other things happening, but I missed being on television. And I walked in one day because I had an interview at the Big DM for an actual on-air interview. And when I walked in, the general manager said to me, he said, I was talking to someone this morning about you. And he said, Jeffrey Lampkin is who you need on the radio. And I just looked at him because I didn't apply for the job at the radio station.
Mhm.
And I'm like, wait, what? Are you serious? I didn't apply for television. The things that I do, all the things that I do, I didn't apply. I
Wow.
did not apply for them. And they came to me about doing radio, and I started, and now have the #1 radio show. And let me tell you what's so, again, when you follow the assignment of God, it's amazing how God will lead you where he wants you to be. I am on the largest station in South Carolina on an R&B, which is rhythm and blues, soul station, doing gospel music with the #1 show on Sunday morning, covering 80% of the state of South Carolina. The #1 show. The show was so popular and so good that because between that time we got another general manager. He came to me and said, hey, just asking about my desires and stuff. Why don't you come on Saturday mornings? I'm now on Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., Mr. Lampkin's Neighborhood, where it's all about the love, because God is love. And I play soul music plus gospel music, because the reality is, again, you got to do things the way you know God is telling you. At the end of the day, I love Celine Dion, I love Whitney Houston, and I love Jesus. And there's nothing wrong with loving Celine and loving Whitney and loving Jesus. And so I get to share that with my people. I get to share that with them. So not only do I have the #1 on Saturday, I got the #1 on Sunday, and it's on the R&B station, but I'm the guy who just stands for Jesus. You can't tell me what God won't do when you are faithful and true to the assignment. Authenticity. That's one of the words I want everybody who's watching this today, put that as just one of your words, authenticity. It's one thing to be obedient, but it's another thing to be authentic, because being authentic is who God called you to be. It's who he created you to be. So here's the thing. You might be being obedient, but are you being obedient based on what you believe someone wants you to be? Are you living in your truth? One of the models that I live by is living your truth, and you will live your best life now. Are you truly living in your truth? Are you truly walking in who you are? And sometimes your truth doesn't mean that you need to make it a public statement or a public declaration. Just because I'm walking in my truth doesn't mean that everybody needs to know what my truth is.
Right.
But as long as I know my truth and God knows my truth and I'm able to work those things, he's going to love me even more, because he realizes this is the authentic creature who I am, who I created, and he still loves me.
We all scroll through social media in between meetings. Why not fill your mind with inspiration during those precious minutes? Follow the Inspire Collective on social media and learn, share, and connect with other Christian leaders in the business world. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. We can't wait to see you there. Well, I know our viewers are kind of panicking right now, so let me give them that information again. I don't want to pass that by. He is on 101.3, the Big DM. I know some of you are like, well, I missed it. I will make sure you guys have that. And of course, you're probably not in his area. He's on Sunday mornings from 6 a.m. To 10 a.m. But go to www.thebigdm.com and you can listen to that show. And I tell you, you will not be disappointed. Also, you've made not one but two appearances on Good Morning America. I watched those shows. Those are phenomenal. I'm like, I know that guy.
It's me.
Can you tell us about that experience and discuss with us a little bit about why you were on the air?
God moment again. I am such a TV fanatic. Anybody who knows me knows. Talk shows, morning shows, I watch them all. The View, Good Morning America, The Today Show daily. This ain't no daily. On my DVR, I watch them daily. These are shows that I love. Days of Our Lives. I am a television person who just loves it. And so when we were on one of our spring tours for the college choir that I get the opportunity, the award-winning Francis Marion YGB Gospel Choir, shout out to them. But I get the opportunity of directing them. And we were on a spring tour, which we call it the Northeaster tour, because it was during the Northeast. And so we went to New York. And so I wanted them, I said, again, here's the option. You've got to do the work. Opportunity will present itself, but you have to do the work. That first time when we went, I told them those who want to get up, because, of course, those shows start at 7 in the morning. You got to get there early. I thought we were going to be out on the plaza. Then I found out that they actually have a studio audience. So we were going to go sit in the audience just to watch the taping. But I don't know. Something said, Jeffrey, carry your little tambourine and be ready. So, of course, come to find out, they interact with the audience. It just so happened, God, again, that the day that we went was the day that by this time, American Idol used to be on Fox. American Idol is now on ABC. And that day, they were doing something about American Idol. One of the producers sees me. Weren't you on American Idol? It's me. So it was me. And so from there, they were like, what are you doing here? So I told them I was there with my choir. I brought my choir, some of the members of my choir. And during the breaks, they asked us to sing. And of course, you're upstairs for the second portion. They're downstairs is where Robin and all of them are doing the actual news part. So we sung. I guess they heard us or whatever. Robin finally came upstairs. Right. Robin asked us to sing again. Hey, lights, camera, action. You better be ready when it's time to go. And
you were ready.
We were ready. And her makeup artist, her stylist, he was DeAndre Tristan. Good morning, DeAndre. DeAndre did a recording of the choir singing. And it impressed Mother Roberts so much, she said, I'm going to put you guys on my social media today. And I was just like, yeah, all right. I think I acted like I passed out or something. I was so excited. And then after that, next thing I know, because mind you, it took off on social media, went viral. It was the biggest video Robin Roberts had ever posted. The biggest video. Mind you, Robin has posted a lot of stuff. The biggest video is Jeffrey Lampkin and the Francis Marion YGB Gospel Choir. And we sung, and it went viral. And so she asked us to come back, and they booked for us to come back, and we were able to be on the live television show. Who wouldn't serve a God like this? But again, all you can be is your authentic self. I am country, I am Southern, and I love the Lord, and I'm going to be me. And when you are who you are, God will put you in the face of the people that he wants to receive who you are. It's an experience I'll never forget, and the ability that those young people were able to experience it, absolutely amazing.
And here you find yourself, the country boy in New York City, and carrying the platform up. I've watched that episode many, many times. It was a great, great blessing. So if you're just tuning into the Inspire Collective podcast, I'm your host, Dr. Chris Bowen, sitting down with Jeffrey Lampkin. He's a radio host of Sunday Morning Gospel with Jeffrey Lampkin, TV personality, recognized also on American Idol, season number 7, and also an entrepreneur. And he is doing so much more. So I know that some of you are confused, saying, wait, I thought he was on American Idol. I thought he was a television host. I thought he was a radio host. Well, the list doesn't stop. It just continues to go on. And Jeffrey, the fun thing is it takes 6 streams of income to become a millionaire. And man, you're already there. So we're trying to get that billion status for you already. So aside from the TV radio pursuit, you're also passionate about music. And so you have an album, a gospel album that's been released. Tell us about that album, and if you got more that maybe we don't know about.
Wow, so it's so crazy. So I have a couple. I have the album with the Francis Marion YGB Gospel Choir. I actually did an album with them. The lead single from that was My Day Is Coming. Everybody loves it. They enjoy it. So I was able to do that album with them. And then I stepped out because people kept asking me, Jeffrey, we want music. We want music. And it's so ironic because sometimes you get so caught up being the choir director. When I was younger, I used to do all of this singing. Like I was always singing in places. And I'm still singing now. But like music has always been a passion for me, always been part of my heart. But I started sometimes you just get caught up teaching choirs. You're teaching this. Everybody's calling you. Will you direct my choir? Can you get my choir ready for this anniversary? So you're always doing it. And sometimes you forget about the ministry that God has placed inside of you. But he births songs. He gives me songs. And I'll never forget, I wrote that song in, I want to say 15 minutes, this song called Keep Holding On. and I released it, and it just has taken off by storm. It's absolutely wonderful. It's available on iTunes and Amazon Music and all of those things, but it's just a song of encouragement, and it fits my personality. Again, I'm learning to be authentic Jeffrey. Jeffrey is just happy. I am happy about the little things of life. I'm happy, and so I get to share those things with people. I get to share this joy and this love, and I get to encourage people. I love encouraging people to keep going. And so the song is Keep Holding On. You got to keep holding on, and you got to trust God that even if it's cloudy right now, the sun is always going to shine again. It's got to shine again, so it's going to happen.
Well, can we hear just a small piece of that?
Yes, let me see. I come with a message to declare on today. Just keep holding on. It gets better every day. You're gonna make it with God on your side. Hold your head up, my child. Oh, everything's gonna be all right, I declare. And I decree, no matter the test, you've got victory. You can make it. You can take it. Oh, nothing too hard with God, 'cause you gotta keep holding on.
Wow, yeah. I don't think I've ever asked a guest to do that before. Fantastic. This has been so fun. So let me tell you one of my favorite parts about you, Jeffrey. I love the music. I love the radio, the television, the American Idol. But there is something called Jeffrey Lampkin's Country Boy Kitchen. Oh, my goodness. There's something about that honey chicken that you have there in Central South Carolina. I've been there every time I'm in that area. I have to stop by. So tell our viewers a little bit about what started the Country Boy Kitchen and what the plans are for the restaurant.
Listen, Jeremiah 29 says, for I know the plans that I have for you. And the Lord, clearly, he knows the plans. What was crazy, this is how ironic this is. I did not grow up cooking. I am from the country. In the country boys are not allowed in the kitchen. We don't cook. We're outside. We're raking yards. We're cutting grass. We're trimming hedges. That's what I was taught to do. I never cooked in the kitchen in my parents' house, except unless it was like for me. But beyond cooking for the family, it did not. I started cooking but I would watch my mom all the time. I was always just like, I loved watching cooking and stuff. So I was always, just into that. When I got to college, I ended up cooking. I ended up learning how to cook and just cooking, and everybody, my friends would always, can you come cook? I cooked so well that the college students at other campuses, the University of South Carolina and such, would ask me to come and cook like big Sunday spreads and stuff. We would have these big dinners. They would call me. So then I started doing small caterings and things of that nature. And I always would tell my wife, I would say, when I did get married, like, I'm going to have my own restaurant one day. I want to have my own restaurant one day. I would just speak this thing before it actually manifested. I was going to have my own restaurant. And then things aligned, and I was able to, because I had worked in corporate America for 13 years at Verizon Wireless. Shout out to the V. It was the time of incubation where the Lord was allowing me to learn how to lead employees, how to operate a business, and all these different things. And so out of that, he birthed this is the thing, let me share this that I've never shared in an interview before. I really wanted to name it after my mom. I love my mommy. And I wanted to name it after my mom. I wanted to name my restaurant Sweet Sadie's. I just thought it was so Southern. Sweet Sadie's. Oh, it just sounds so good. But my mom is so shy. So she was like, no, you'll never name nothing after me. I don't want, that's too much attention. So she was like, she did not want the attention. So I was standing in my living room one day again, and the Lord said, Jeffrey Lampkin's Country Boy Kitchen. Well, Jesus, that's the answer. And thus we named it Jeffrey Lampkin's Country Boy Kitchen. What's so ironic with that, I knew it was going to be, I cook fried chicken very well. This is the South. People love fried chicken. But what I had found was I would go to restaurants and it's like the meat is good, but the sides ain't good. I needed a restaurant where everything is good. Honey, you can't decide. I don't know whether I want a potato salad or whether I want the soul-saving greens. And again, how does it fit my personality? I love the Lord, authentically love the Lord. So my website is www.authenticallylovethelord.com. thelordsoulfood.com. I love Jesus. My sides are named after, for example, we don't have collard greens in our restaurant. We have soul-saving greens. They will save your soul. We don't have green beans. We have, good God Almighty, green beans, because Jesus is in these green beans. We don't have yellow rice. We have You Brought the Sunshine yellow rice. We have Yahweh yams, and all of these different things that the Lord is surrounded by God is back to him. And then, of course, the chicken, I always cooked fried chicken well, but I had one of my little sisters at my house. She was in medical school at the time. She came home and she said, Jeffrey, I want some chicken. She said, this would really be good with some type of sauce on it. I said, sauce? Hold on, honey. Don't tell me nothing, because maybe I will whip something up really quick. And I went in my kitchen and literally whipped up this honey sauce. And when I whipped it up, it was absolutely amazing, and thus why I call it the Jeffrey Lampkin's Country Boy Kitchen, home of Kia's honey fried chicken, because that's the signature dish. It is the honey fried chicken, and it has this honey drizzle that honey, just go to the website, www.thelordsoulfood.com, all one word, and I promise you, you just see that drizzle pour down. Child, it's like the anointing. It just flows. Flow like a river, flow.
It is extremely, extremely good. It certainly is. I'm not. I try not to eat a lot of fried food, but I tell you what, it will make you smack somebody for sure. So you can tell here on the podcast today on the Inspire Collective that you obviously have your mother's personality. Very shy. So
Dr. Chris, let me say this though. What's so ironic? No joke. I'm very shy. I am shy until I am operating in whatever it is that I have to do. But if you tell me right now to go in a room full of strangers, all begins to just like fall apart. Like I am so shy, and people don't, but until you really get to, I really am shy. I am shy. It's so ironic. I am shy. I'll give you an example. I do not go to large football games. I don't go to NFL games. I don't go to basketball games, arenas full of people and stuff like that, unless I have a designated job or a coordinated seat, because all those people, I am so shy. And even being Jeffrey Lampkin now, it's just like, this is too many people. just to know I'm shy.
Yeah, I'm sure our viewers may have a little different outtake, as I do as well. I haven't seen anything shy about Jeffrey Lampkin yet, but nevertheless. So do you have any upcoming shows, project, or events that maybe you would like to share with our Inspire listeners as we begin to wrap up our interview today?
Yeah, I definitely tell you to follow the journey, because what God is doing in my life, I am really excited about. I actually have, I got a show coming up with Miranda Curtis. She is a worship leader who is a worship leader extraordinaire. Yeah. And I'm announcing it here first, because I haven't even announced it on my show, which I will do on Sunday. But coming up, I'm going to be, we're doing a night of worship with her. So I'm hosting that show. I'm going to have that coming forward, and several other shows and things that are going to be happening. But I've got that night with Miranda Curtis, and then I'm really focused in on the restaurant and just pulling everything together with the restaurant. So I have a new location that's coming to Bishopville, and prayerfully by the end of March, we will be opening that location. And then I have something coming I did tell Dr. C about, and I just tell the rest of you, just follow www.thelordsoulfood.com, www.jeffreylampkin.com, or just follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It's all Jeffrey Lampkin. Everything is Jeffrey Lampkin. Just follow me, and if you follow me, you'll see there's going to be a major announcement the Lord has already given me. And I often tell people that sometimes the Lord will give you things, and just you have to sit in incubation. It's not time. It hasn't reached the temperature. It's just like when I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking. You can make cakes that are very pretty on the outside. Cornbread is very beautiful, nice golden yellow on the outside. But if you pull it out before time, it's not completely done. And when something is not done and you pull it out before its time of maturation, it can poison someone. It can kill someone. It can contaminate someone. So sometimes you need to sit on that which God is giving you. Just wait and know that the moment is going to come where you can push that thing forward and allow people to hear the blessing that God is giving you. So you guys follow me, because it is coming at Jeffrey Lampkin on all things social media and the websites.
Wow. So you guys got to have a piece of that Jeffrey Lampkin cornbread of life.
Come on here, listen. Yes.
If you have the Yahweh yams, we got to have the cornbread of life.
Yes.
Jeffrey, it has been a delight and a pleasure having you on the show today.
Honored. I love you so much.
It is fantastic. I tell you what, this has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed our interview. So again, thank you so much for being with us. And I know that people have enjoyed and you have inspired the nation today. Thank you so much for being with us.
I'm honored. I am honored, Dr. C. Thank you. And to everyone out there, I'm just grateful. And I want to leave them with this, if I can leave you.
Yes.
Just with this thought, I love to really inspire people. So hear me clearly when I say this. A 7 can always shine in a room of 5s, but that doesn't mean that you're a 10. A 7 can always shine in a room of 5s, but it doesn't mean you're a 10. I want to encourage everyone out there to, sometimes you can feel like you're doing great with what it is that you have, because where you are, you're always shining. You're always the light of the room. However, I often tell people, no matter where you are and what you do, you've got to pause and you've got to examine yourself. And you've got to look at, hey, am I truly following the destiny and the plan that God has for me? Am I truly operating at optimum performance? That doesn't mean that every day you're going to show up and you're going to give 100%. No one gives 100% every day. But when I look at it and I calibrate it overall, am I really effectively operating? There are people out there right now who are saying, God, I really want more. I wish I could do all that Jeffrey does. Well, with the one thing that you have, or the two things, or the three things that you have, are you operating at full capacity? And so I just want to encourage everyone today to pause. Like when you get off this podcast, I want you to just pause, examine yourself, look at where I am, and then ask myself, am I truly operating at optimum performance? Because a 7 can always shine in a room of 5s, but it does not mean that you're a 10. And we want to make sure that you get to operating at level 10.
Wow, that's awesome. What great inspiration today. Thank you so much. And I know our viewers are a 10. They're going to continue to strive to be that 10. Thank you for your inspiration.
That's it. Thank you.
We hope this conversation with Jeffrey Lampkin has left you feeling both motivated and inspired. You can connect with Jeffrey Lampkin by going to jeffreylampkin.com. For more content, you can sign up for the Inspire Collective magazine and get your first year subscription absolutely free. For more of this offer, visit us at inspirecollective.com. Thank you for tuning in and see you next week for more of the Inspire Collective podcast.